Claude launched Claude Routines recently, and it's one of the best updates I've seen as an automation engineer who's worked with people from $100,000 all the way to $2 billion firms automating their business. This is the best update I've seen since they launched Claude Code. Why is that? Claude Routine has fundamentally changed the way in which you can technically automate your business. Up until now, you can only prompt Claude personally, and then it's going to do certain things. Then they recently launched Claude Schedule, but even Claude Schedule was very limited. But Claude Routine, on the other hand, can be triggered by both GitHub, which is not relevant to business owners in here, but most importantly through different softwares, through APIs. Different softwares can now trigger Claude Routine to do a certain set of actions. Yeah, there are a few limitations, like how it's only limited to the connectors. Claude has connectors to different tools. It's only limited to doing certain things within the connector tools. API request has to meet from third-party tools. I talked every single thing about Claude Routine, how it's set up, how you can set it up, all the best practices to follow, when to use Claude Routine and when to use N8N, all in a very detailed video I've recorded. You can find the link to that in here. Please go watch that first. Now that you've seen those stuff, now that you've seen that video, in this video, I'm going to talk about a very interesting use case that's going to be very helpful for business owner. How to use Claude Routine to create an automated proposal after every single sales call. This is going to be quite helpful because every single business owner I know spends at least 2 to 3 days creating proposal, and if they're super busy, it goes up to 5 days to create a decent proposal and send it over to them. And you as a business owner know deep in your heart the importance of sending things on time. If you are contacting someone, they say give me 3 days, there's a good possibility that you might not go with them. A small possibility that you might not go with them if you have multiple other contractors and one guy was quicker. He sent you a proposal in 6 hours and it's decent enough. You're going to go with that guy. You're going to cancel that call that you have from 5 days ago. It has happened to me as well, which is why I'm going to create a very quick Claude Routine that you can set it up in 30 minutes. So FYI, if you are automating proposal creation, right, I would highly recommend automating every single touch point in your sales. So I can give you an example. Let me just give you a sample just to give you a reference point on what's right and what's not. Yeah, the way we usually do these things for our clients is we usually jump into their business, see what their sales process is, and we map every single thing out. Proposal creation is a small aspect for all the touch points that we usually automate, such as follow-ups, such as AI researching, reminders, task assignment. All these multi-step stuff is what we specialize in. If that's something that you're interested in, you'll find a link below to discuss further, but let's not get into that. Yeah, I want to make sure this video is valuable for you. Let me just firstly show you how I usually did. Yeah, it's so funny. So the way we usually did it is, you see multi-step workflow where the call happens, then we wait until the call starts, and when the call starts, the salesperson has to manually move them to a stage called proposal requested, and that's when we have a proposal requested automation that's triggered, and here deal is moved to proposal requested. We send them an email, and that's when we have an AI that basically create a Google Docs draft, and then we can fetch the Fireflies. This entire step, right? You see the entire step. Do you know how long it took us? It took us 5 days, by the way, to perfect the template and everything. It took us 5 days. This entire step, AI is going to do that in 30 minutes with the right training. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. Yeah, so watch till the end. I can guarantee you it's going to be valuable. All right. So let's firstly go into Claude Code Routines. Yeah. So if you watch that video, you will know that local and remote exists. Local is limited. Remote is what we need to use. So click on remote, and now we're going to call this proposal. Now before I do that, right, make sure we have the right connectors. Okay, we have to make sure we have the right connectors. Let's click on here. Let's click on connectors. All right. So firstly, I want you to go to the settings. Firstly, go to chats, go to settings, click on settings, click on connectors, and firstly make sure that the Google Drive connector, Google Docs connector is created right now. So let me just create Google Docs. Okay, so Google Docs, it's Google Drive. So let's create the Google Drive connection, which is going to include Google Docs, Google Sheets, all that stuff. Yeah, so let me just make sure I have that connection. All right, and I also want to make sure whenever you do add a connection, right, there's a thing called approved. So when you go to the connection, I always make sure for things that are not super duper important, it doesn't need my approval. Like, I can allow it. I'm going to allow it to have approval without me needing to approve certain things. However, to read certain files, I'm going to ask it to, get approval first, because there is some sensitive data in there. And so even for create file, I'm just going to make sure it's always allowed, because it's not going to affect anything. So that's what I would do for safety precautions. So Google Drive, and now let's go back to routines. Now that we have Google Drive, for me, Google Drive is there. And Slack is already connected for me. If you guys don't have Slack, download Slack, install Slack. Now let's go to routines. Yeah. All right. So I just spent the last minute just creating this diagram for you so you can clearly understand what we're going to do. So basically, we're going to make sure the automation is triggered with Fireflies. It's going to be triggered from a third-party software when the meeting is ended. So we're not going to let everyone through. We're only going to let qualified prospects through. And then we'll make sure Once the prospect goes through, we call the routine, and then the routine is going to use Google Docs to create this proposal and send me the link to Google Docs and all the other details to me on Slack to a very specific channel. So that's how we're going to do it. Yeah. So let's get into this. So the first thing that we need to do is make sure in routines, let's click on remote and let's call this proposal creation routine agent. Okay. And then now I'm going to add instructions. Okay. So the best way to add instruction, by the way, yeah, is firstly, if you watch that video, I talk about role and objective. Role and objective is one, and adding hashtag is this makes the bot perform a bit better, because 2 hashtags means heading and markdown, and AI uses markdown. Prompt engineering and uses back. It's a good practice. And then you add instructions, and then you add examples. Okay, examples. All right. Now Now, if I can guarantee you, now I'm pretty sure most of you guys are already using AI to some extent to create your own proposals. If you are, go to that chat, give the AI this prompt. Okay, I'm going to copy this. I have a proposal scope 2.0 agent. I asked it what my format is. Give me the exact format. Hey, I am creating a prompt to help me draft proposal using calls from my sales meeting. I need you to create a simple prompt that follows this structure. Add the role objective in there. Make sure the instructions follow the structure and format I've told you to follow in this chat. And lastly, give a good example in here. It's that simple, yeah. So let the AI do the heavy lifting for you if you've already used AI to create proposals. If you haven't, I'll show you that as well. If you haven't, it's very easy for you to do. Basically, all you do is you give it instructions like, hey, like you are a master proposal creation agent. That is where your role is to help me create a very simple and non-technical proposal for my clients, for my XYZ service business, where we do X, Y, and Z. All right. So we told it what its goal is. Objective would be to have something that they easily understand. So something like that, and then add instructions on the format should be like heading should be this should be this, whatever instructions you usually give your sales team or yourself. Have the instructions in there, and very, very, very important to have a really good example. And then at the end, hey, and at the end, you can be like, hey, create a Google Docs link that is well formatted in a way that Google Docs accept. Very important to add that, and send them to Slack to the channel test. We're specifying exactly where to send as well. So this is what I would do if I didn't have this, but because I have this, and I'm a lazy ass, because I'm an AI engineer, so I'm gonna let AI do the job for me. God, I'm gonna lose my job. So anyways, the proposal bot, and here the 10 row sales calls into calendar, clear and kind proposal. Your goal is role objective. You do this, list what we will do, action bullet points in plain English, show them when it happened, what results would happen. Instructions, you read the clear notes, give the proposal template, follow the exact template I give you. So the template, it gives you the exact template in here, because I've already instructed this. For the last 2 years, I've been using this agent. It has deep instructions, so I'm just going to use that instructions itself. It gave a very, very good example on all the stuff that needs to be done, timeline, everything else. So it's very beautiful. Yeah, the proposal is in here, and that's all I need to do. And then I need to add one more instructions, right? Remember we talked about the Slack thing. So let me go to instructions. No output, plain text. And then 7, once docs in a well formatted manner, Slack in the channel test. Very, very, very important that I give more detailed examples, very specific. I'm going to use Opus. Yeah, I'm going to use Opus. Like, Haiku is like my younger sister. She's a bit dumb. Sonnet is like my big brother, who is more intelligent than my sister, but less intelligent than me. And Opus 4.7 is like me, the most intelligent and most beautiful and most handsome middle child of them all. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I hope my siblings are not seeing this. But anyways, you guys get the point. Yeah, you guys get the point. So Haiku is dumb. Sonnet is decent and does the job. But when you really want to get shit done, your dad doesn't call that guy. He calls Opus. So for this, because it's important, all my other agents are using Sonnet because it's much cheaper and it does the job. But for this, I need the best of the best. Yeah, I'm gonna use Opus. And yeah, now that this is connected, you make sure you have the relevant connections. Okay, the only connection you need is remove all the other connections that are not relevant, because it's going to bloat up the context, and the context window is bloated up, it doesn't perform really well. And now that you add it in Google Drive and Slack, you added the proposal, you added the name, you added you added the good prompt, you added this, and now it's the beauty of making the API call. Okay, now you make the API call, and now you click on create. When you create, it's going to give you an API token. Okay, it's going to give you an API token. And now if this is the first time you've created this, it's also going to give you the API URL as well, along with the headers. Okay, so let me just show you. You can use, now how do we trigger this? So there is two ways in which you can, I guess the main I would suggest you as business owners would trigger this is by using tools like make.com, N8N or Zapier. I'm going to show you how to do this in both. Firstly, you want to use make.com. I got a change of clothes, but let me show you how you can set this thing up on make.com, Zapier or N8N. Just to recap, Claude Routines doesn't trigger by itself. It needs a different platform to trigger it, and tools like Fireflies or any other tools don't exactly have the function to make an API call, or basically knocking on Claude Routines door like, hey, do this. That is why we're using a third-party tools. And most of you guys, if you're in this space already, you must have an N8N subscription or make.com or Zapier. If I were you, if I don't have any, I would start with make.com, because N8N is a bit too complex, it's mostly developer friendly. Zapier is very easy, but it's quite expensive. So the middle ground is make.com. I'll attach link to get a free trial below. So yeah, very easy. I'll show you for all those platforms here. So click on new scenario, and basically what you're doing is we are telling this make.com automation that, hey, when you do get a Fireflies transcription, take all the calls, take all the text and just send it to Claude Routines. Yeah, Claude Routines can only accept certain data. So we're just telling Claude Routine it can accept certain data and it can analyze it. So we are giving Claude Routines all the information it needs to create the proposal, right? So it starts very simple. So if you're using Fathom, for example, if you're using Fathom would have automatic, or these are triggers. These are trigger modules. Trigger is what starts the automation. You would have a trigger module like, watch recording. And all you need to do is just, watch recording, you create the webhook, and then it's going to automatically go to Fathom. You set a few things, just add your connections, and that's it. You add your logins, and then the thing is going to be ready. And then you have to send the data to this. Click on edit. Let me just get the API keys again. Call onto API. You see, I need to post this. Let me get a sample request, right? Make a post to this URL and have all these tokens in there, right? So all I need to do is just make a HTTP, okay? HTTP call, make a request. Let me just quickly connect it and type in no authentication. I'll tell you why that is relevant. It's much easier to set up. And then everything that has in here, all the headers, add in all the headers. Type in bearer, and add in here, the H means header. We're just adding, just like how it said, we're adding all the headers that it's saying. It's like, when you knock on a door, in movies, like, hey, what's the secret code? Without the secret code, you can't open it up. That's all we're doing. So these are the 4 secret codes that we need to add in. So token, they already gave us a token. This is the token, right? So copy, paste the token in here. Okay, basically done the whole thing in here. So I'm just gonna, I'm a lazy guy. I'm a lazy bastard. So let me just quickly paste it, delete this. But yeah, the end product will look something like this. I would add the authorization, I would add the Anthropic version and the value in here. I would add the Anthropic beta as a header and add the value that they're given in here, and the content type and application JSON. Now, the most important part is you need to map the values that comes from Fathom onto Claude Routines. How do you do that? You need to send a JSON. Just copy this, just type in text, like, add a bracket, what do you call this? I'm just gonna ask AI. Yeah, I forgot what it's called. Curly brackets. It's curly brackets. Yeah, I remembered. So curly brackets, just comma text. It's called JSON. It's just a way in which they accept data. It's in JSON. So all you're doing is, hey, this is the text, and you just mention the text, and now you see mappings. This is, you're mapping all the information from there. So if you just click on this, right? If you just click on this after the JSON, after you create this simple JSON, you click on this, and if you run this, the the automation is gonna automatically run every time you have a new recording. It's gonna send the summary, and Claude Routine is gonna do what it's supposed to do, that is create the proposal. But the thing is this, right? You and I both know summary is not good enough. We want the entire conversation, and the thing is, the entire conversation has to be sent in such a way that it's all combined in one line, like in one big ass paragraph. Because the AI doesn't accept 1 line, 2 lines. We're gonna keep sending it. We need to combine them all one together. And the way these tools work is they give you 1 line and next line like this. You need to take them all, put them in 1 line. Now how do we do that? We do that using a thing called aggregator. Now that you guys understood why we are combining them, right? How do we do that? Right, let me firstly, you only need to do 3 things. Just do 3 things, and then you should be good to go. Yeah. So click on flow control. There's a thing called Iterator. So all we are doing in Iterator is we're just telling Iterator, like, hey, take this entire building of information and just split each flows and just give me those flows. That's it. So anytime there is a drop down, you see a drop down, that means that's a building with multiple flows. So you need to choose the entire building. Okay, transcript is what we need to choose, because if you see transcript, it has the name of the speaker, it has the name of the text, all this stuff, right? So click on the entire building. Very important, you choose the entire building, because then you can divide into flows. Boom. Now it's going to take the entire building and divide them into floor 1, floor 2, floor 3. And now we need to take all those floors and keep them in one line. Okay, that's what we have to do. So what we have to use a thing called text aggregator. Okay, text, click on iterator, because that's the way we're getting the data from. And now choose the text and you group. Okay, choose the text. Now you choose the text, you choose like the speaker name. I want it like this. Okay, speaker name and then the text, because I want every text when I'm combining them all into one line, right? How does the AI know I'm speaking this, the client is speaking this? That's why this is the format. I'm telling it like, hey, combine the text in this format. Like when you're combining everything, keep them in this format. In this one floor, the speaker name and the text name should be it's one just together. So the way we do that is by put the speaker name in there. Okay, and then keep the text in there. Text. That's it. That's simple. In group by, just select on this. And now click on save. Okay, and now you need one more text aggregator. Okay, you need one more text aggregator. It's the same thing, and this is the one that's actually combining them all. Okay, so alrighty, click on text, just click on dash. So dash is going to separate every single speaker, what the speaker says, and the next speaker's stuff is divided by this dash. It's that simple. And now all you have to do is just connect it, and then let me just, my OCD is not allowing me to be like that. And now all you need to do is just in here, just map that value. You see the conversation, you see this text. That's it. How beautiful is that? How beautiful and simple. That's it. Now every time it runs, it's going to send the data to Claude Code, to Claude Routines. It's going to do that thing for you. Now how do you do that for Fireflies? For Fireflies it's a bit difficult, but it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is you need to first set up, like when you go to Fireflies, you see it doesn't have like a trigger module, right? Remember when I said trigger module, which triggers, it doesn't have that. So we need to set it up. So if you go to Fireflies, what you need to do, I want you to go to Fireflies. I want to go to the let's open up Fireflies, go to settings. In settings, click on developer settings. They will give you an option called configure webhook. Click on view configuration, and then what you need to do is, then I want you to click in here, click on webhook. Okay, it should be a new automation, right? I'm just gonna, let me just move this away so you don't get confused. So a new automation, let's do Fireflies, let's do webhook. So I needed to create a webhook, create a custom webhook, not mailhook, webhook. And now it's gonna click on this, type in Fireflies as test2. Alright, click on save, that's it. And now you get this address. Now you're telling Fireflies, hey, every time you have a call, send it to this address. Just click on paste. You won't have any option. I already have one. I can click on set up a new webhook, and then you can paste that webhook in and click on save. It's that simple. Just paste that webhook in. Let me just show you how it's done. I can click on a new webhook, type in the webhook, and I can choose when do I want this webhook to be sent. Now I only want discovery calls to be sent, right? So I'm going to do a thing called discovery calls. Every call of my discovery call is marked as discovery calls. So I'm going to do it like this. Click on discovery call, apply. So only meetings with this title discovery call goes through. So you can have multiple conditions in place, and then the webhook gets called, and then only thing you have to do is you can also send the test data, right? Once you set up the webhook, I want you to send test webhook. It's going to send the data, and basically all this webhook gets. Let's just do that. Let's do that right now. Okay, click on save, continue, please. Okay, I need to select at least one event. Meeting transcript. I want the meeting transcription to be sent. Okay, click on continue, click on test send event. Okay, now it got the now I just wait for this thing to run. So I'm going to send the test data. It should have received a test data by now. You see, it got a test data, event timestamp, meeting ID. Now all you need to do is click on a step called meeting from Firefly. Okay, get transcript. And you just need to map the ID. It's very simple. Just stick with me. It's very simple, and then you'll be like, wow, was it that simple the whole time? Because you boys here to teach you. It's going to be like this. Click on map, click on this option, and just map the meeting ID. And then every time this webhook is called, it's going to fetch the meeting ID, and then you start from here itself. You do the same thing that we did in here. Now the same exact step works on N8N, where all you need to do is just have a trigger module like that. Click on a trigger module like Fireflies. Click on Fireflies, get transcript. Let's use get transcript. Click on this, and then make sure it's configured correctly, and then make an HTTP call. Let's click on HTTP call, HTTP call, and then post and do the same thing. and voila, you got it. In Zapier, the way you do that is by going to Zapier, have the trigger as Fireflies or whatever it is. It's the same step applies in all these platforms, right? Same step applies in all these platforms. You have a trigger module, whether it's Fireflies, whether it's Fathom, just have the same step. Fathom, and it's the trigger module. It's either the trigger module or new action. See, they're going a new action from a meeting. It's either a trigger module or webhook, which is sent from a different platform. And then firstly, the third step is sending the data. And how do we send the data? In here, there's no HTTP. If you type in HTTP, that doesn't exist. In N8N, it does exist. In make.com, it does exist. In Zapier, it's called webhooks. It's called webhooks by Zapier. All right. Now you click on webhooks, click on post. That's it. You do the same thing. Now, how do we combine the whole thing, right? There's a thing called formatting option. Click on format, and then click on text format, and then you can combine line items. So you use this, and what it does is you're basically combining all the line items. You're combining all the line items into one chunk. So you can either use that, or in Zapier, you can just add the whole thing in there. You can just add the whole text in there, and then it's gonna work. So I don't want to keep the video too long by going into all the nuances, but do comment below if you have any particular questions on how exactly which step, what the formatting is. Please comment below, because I don't have the time to go over all the nuances. All right, now let me show you a real life version of this thing working. All right, now fortunately, I've been having this run for the last few days or so because I wanted to see how exactly it runs. So as you can see, if you go to my Claude Routines, you go to my proposal routine, you can see all the runs it had, right? It failed this time because I hit limit, but it ran all those times, right? So all I need to do is just click on one run. Let me see how the run is. All right, so as you can see, it created the document, it created the Google Docs, it created the objective. I need to add the Slack. I remember one of the actions was send it to Slack. I need to connect to Slack again, but it created the Google Docs, it created the objectives, the scope, and this is a real sales call. I had a real sales call with an NGO, and it has all the details: the hourly rate, how much I suggested, what the estimated total would be, the discounted price for these NGOs, every single detail, and the main is all those things are in here. All I need to do is just click on this drive folder, or if you have a customized proposals like I usually do, I have a customized proposal, right? I have click on projects. The way I do proposals is I would go to my Canva, I would have a particular document, and I would put in my objective and my scope of the work and what we will do in here. Now all I need to do is either use this, or if you want to customize, copy and paste it there. It's that simple. How beautiful is that? How much of your hours are being saved because of Cloud Code? Shit's amazing, bro. It's beautiful. All right, so that's the end of the video. I hope this was extremely useful, as I believe it is. We went over exactly how it is that you can use Claude Routines, how it works, how you can set it up, and how you can set up your automatic proposal creation automation, whether you're getting it from Fathom, Fireflies, or any other app out there. I showed you exactly what you need to do in any platforms. I hope that was helpful, and if you would love to see more of this stuff, you know who to subscribe, because your boy sat down here, it's 4 a.m. and taught you all these things. You better hit that subscribe button. One last surprise for you guys. Launching my own school community in the next few weeks. There's a link below to join the waitlist, and everyone who joins the waitlist, you're going to get a special founders prize, which is going to be fixed for a lifetime. It's going to be a low cost prize for the first 100 guys. So if you join the waitlist, you'll be locked in for that prize forever. We will be in that community. We will give you access to discount codes for tools. We will go deeper insights, weekly calls with me to answer any questions, and I'll share you real life agentic templates, automations, code for the stuff that we build for firms that are worth up to $2 million. So if that's something that you're interested in, click on the link, join the waitlist, and I will see you on the next video. Yeah, I'll see you then. Ciao, take care, bye bye.